there's a police officer who has been accused and arrested of raping a woman after he arrested the woman for DWI. I kid you not. Isleta police officer, this is out of New Mexico, is now behind bars, okay? Accused of raping a drunk driving suspect while taking her to jail. The alleged victim says she felt that she had no choice, fearing that he would add charges to her or something worse. His name, let's put up his picture. Let's put up his mugshot. His name is Leon Martin. Was arrested Tuesday by his fellow police officers. The guy basically admitted to what happened, okay? So let me give you some background to this. The woman reported the assault last week at the hospital, saying she was arrested for DWI in the Isleta Pueblo by Martin. And on the way to jail, she says Martin pulled his patrol car over into a dark area and asked her to come to the driver's side. She says he took off his vest and gun belt and then raped her. This story gets really deep, deeper than this, all right? Now you already have a guy who feels comfortable pulling over his squad car and raping a woman while taking her to jail. He still takes her to jail, okay? He rapes her and takes her to jail. That's according to the allegation. The victim says she was scared and afraid, all right? And that he would shoot her or add extra charges to her DWI case if she did not comply. She says Martin told her in exchange, he would talk to the judge to help reduce her charges. And if they spent a longer amount of time together, she would spend a shorter amount of time in jail and would get to see the judge quicker. A couple of days later, the victim told investigators she tested positive for chlamydia following the assault. In an interview, with the NMSP, the cop admitted to having sex with the woman while she was under arrest, but told them she initiated the encounter and he simply had a lapse of judgment. The alleged victim told police she recognized Martin from a previous domestic violence incident and he had messaged her on Facebook afterward. She says she felt like he was trying to hit on her. So what do we have here? We have a cop that had a prior interaction with this individual he has arrested. That prior interaction caused him to inbox her on social media. She felt as if this was his attempt to try to get at her, okay? To try and hit on her. This guy is a walking corruption. That's what he is, all right? So there's more. The executive director of the Coalition to Stop Violence Against Native Women said in the statement, we know that police officers who do this, they do target those most vulnerable. Gender nonconforming people in this instance, someone who was under the influence, folks who engage in sex work, these are populations of people who are targeted because they're seen as less credible. Let's put the cop's picture up again. He faces multiple felonies now, including criminal assault, criminal sexual penetration, false imprisonment, demanding or receiving a bribe by a public officer, as well as an ethics violation. We're gonna follow this story. The court date has not been set yet, but we're gonna follow this story because we don't want it to be brushed under the rug, as we have seen with other police officers who have been involved in insane and extreme criminal corruption like this. Ms. Dahl, you're an attorney at law. Would you defend this guy?
No, I mean, that's why I'm not a criminal defense lawyer, although he's constitutionally entitled to it. But I want to say about the woman, good for her for coming forward. That took a huge amount of courage to come forward, especially when her, the person was a law enforcement. She had no idea what was gonna happen. She had no idea that he was actually gonna admit it. So that took a tremendous amount of courage. And this man should really get the book thrown at him because he seems like he might have even stalked her. The fact that he was following her on Facebook and he caught her driving drunk. Was he just following her all the time? Very scary. We see things like this happen. And if he is released, he could do something worse. I mean, oftentimes these type of crimes against women, it happens repeatedly. So I really hope they take this really seriously. And the fact that it came out during this story that behind police brutality is sex abuse as the #2 police misconduct. Honestly, I didn't even know that before you reported this story. And we are so desensitized to violence against women in this country. This should never tolerate that amount of abuse against women when they have a gun, have a position of power. And like you said, they do it against these vulnerable women, maybe sex workers that do not feel like they have the ability to speak out. So I hope this case kind of cracks open this door and we really clean this up.
Yeah, he's trash. They need to take out the garbage.